Many targeted individuals do suffer from tinnitus, but have no idea that this tinnitus that they are having is not caused by a medical issue or any kinds of health issues at all. When it comes to remote neural monitoring, there are no GPS trackers in your vehicle. There are no hidden audio recorders. You would likely never, ever even find a spy device in or under your vehicle, in your apartment or home. It all really boils down to remote neural monitoring. Now, if you have came to the conclusion that you are not being followed by the government, if you have came to the conclusion that this is not a FBI investigation, because a FBI investigation would not have to last more than a year or 2 years. I mean, it does not make any sense whatsoever. And if you have came to the conclusion that there are no GPS trackers in your vehicle, there are no hidden audio recorders in your home, your computer is likely not hacked, the Department of Homeland Security is not intercepting all of your internet data, then you can move on and find out what's really going on. And the fact of the matter is that you are on remote neural monitoring and anyone could have put you on it. Now, when it comes to remote neural monitoring, how can you tell? Well, first of all, the people doing this to you are connected to you. They have partial control over your neurological system. They can wake you up at a specific time. Have many of you woken up at 4:44 a.m. or 2:22 a.m. or 11:11 a.m., p.m.? I mean, you get it. They can wake you up at a specific time. Many of you may also suffer from what I call artificial tinnitus. Now, artificial tinnitus is not like regular tinnitus at all. This tinnitus will come and go. And if you are suffering from tinnitus or artificial tinnitus, then if you were to pull out your EMF detector, you would likely catch a high EMF broadcast or a very, very high EMF reading. And another way to find out whether or not you are on remote neural monitoring is by getting a bug sweep. Because a lot of you talk about hidden audio recorders, y'all talk about hidden video recorders and this and that and the third and the fifth, but have no proof of it at all. Many of you talk about spy devices but have no proof of it. I can tell you off the rip that I have checked for a GPS tracker for over 2 years and I have not found one at all. I don't really fall for nanotechnology. I don't believe in it. If they are tracking you, then they are using a real GPS tracker. My phone is not hacked at all. They are not using Stingray phone trackers at all. So what you could do, you could pay for a bug sweep. It will not be cheap. Expect to spend maybe between $400 and $1,000 for this particular bug sweep. So if they are not using a GPS tracker, if they are not using Stingray phone trackers, then how are they able to keep up with you? How are they able to pull it off? Well, I will tell you how. They have you on remote neural monitoring. I mean, when you really think about it, you have people, well, you have targeted individuals who don't travel. I travel. I could travel to a different state or a different city and nothing would change at all. These people already know when I'm coming. I could trade vehicles. I mean, I could literally drive a rented vehicle, and guess what? Nothing will change. I could leave my phone. Nothing would change. Okay, these people are keeping track of you through the use of your EEG. They use your own body to track you, torture you, and even harm you. So, when it comes to remote neural monitoring in general, you will not find any GPS trackers, you will not find any audio recorders, you will not find any spy devices at all, or any real spy devices. A lot of people talk about how they spend billions of dollars on a targeted individual a year, and this is a lie. They don't spend any money on you whatsoever. They have you on remote neural monitoring, and this is all they really need to mess with you. You have people who talk about how if the Freemasons, look, the Freemasons are not the only people behind it. You have drug dealers, gangs, you have cartels. Anyone with access to remote neural monitoring is able to do this to you. And this is pretty much the reason why I don't record street theater, because street theater is going to look normal to the average person. When you record people wearing red, blue, or whatnot, then it's going to appear normal. I mean, for the most part, street theater does not even exist. It may exist to you, but not to everyone else. So, you can talk about how you are being tracked, how you are being stalked. If you really want to prove you are being stalked in a very, very organized fashion, then you will have to find a GPS tracker or a spy device or something. I mean, there is no way people could spy on you without you not knowing. Which is why I tell you, you could talk about street theater all day. It will get you nowhere. Because you are on remote neural monitoring, and they are not using any physical devices to keep track of you. Now let me do a very quick overview. If you are on remote neural monitoring, you will have tinnitus. A lot of you may hear real voices. I already have a video on how remote neural monitoring works. They can also wake you up at a specific time. They could make you pick up your cell phone at a specific time. You pick up your cell phone and you get 144, 1111, 222. Well, guess what? This is likely remote neural monitoring, because these people are connected to you and they have control over your EEG profile. Anyone can gain access to remote neural monitoring, and you don't have to be with the government either. You don't have to be a Freemason. People may also bring up things that you think about, or things that you talk about in the privacy of your own home. One way you could tell, because a lot of people, they talk about, well, the Department of Homeland Security is on my internet connection and whatnot. Look, the Department of Homeland Security has nothing to do with it at all. And why would they waste our time hacking your internet when they could easily just put you on remote neural monitoring? Second of all, when it comes to surveillance, I mean, if you are being surveillance from city to city, state to state, then that is clearly a GPS tracker or some kind of spy device in your vehicle. And if you don't find any, then you could assume that, hey, maybe they hacked my phone. Well, if your phone is not hacked, because my phone is not hacked at all, you could download Cell Spycatcher. And I'll put it in the link below. But if your phone is not hacked, if there is no GPS tracker in your vehicle, then you tell me what is going on. How are they able to track you from state to state, city to city? Because I travel. It doesn't matter where you go, doesn't matter how you go. They are on to you 24/7, around the clock. They know where you are located 24/7. You could strip butt naked, they will still find you. They don't need nanotechnology. They don't need a RFID implant. Alright. So, if you feel like your identity has been stolen or whatnot, then you could file a background check, a statewide background check, and you would likely find out what the deal is. If you really feel like it's the Freemasons, then go ahead, but the whole Freemasons did it is propaganda to me. Like, of course there are likely Freemasons who are doing this to people, because anyone can access remote neural monitoring, but to assume that it's the Freemasons and only the Freemasons is pretty shallow. Because there are bad people out there who are not Freemasons. I mean, you got gang members, people with the cartel, you name it. Most people are just, it is what it is, man. Remote neural monitoring would never ever hold up in court. If you try to take it to a lawyer or whatnot, then, how are these people able to track you? How are they tracking you? If there are a GPS tracker in your vehicle, are they using a hidden audio recorder? A hidden audio recorder would likely be in a power outlet. I mean, you would find it. And there is really no way you can prove it. If they were using real spy devices or whatnot, then you would have real proof of it. But most of you have no proof whatsoever. And that should tell you that maybe this is like much more advanced than, a GPS tracker or a hidden audio recorder or you get it. Because they don't need that at all. Let's wrap everything up. Most targeted individuals will have tinnitus, or many of them may hear real voices. Remote neural monitoring. They can wake you up at a specific time. Remote neural monitoring. They can make you pick up your cell phone at a specific time. Remote neural monitoring. They can cause pains in specific areas of your body that you never really had pains in. Remote neural monitoring. They can bring up things that you do in private, online, offline, even things that you think about. Remote neural monitoring. So, they can track you. I mean, you could strip butt naked, you could go for a walk through the woods, and they would find you. Remote neural monitoring. You could leave every electronic device or appliance that you have, and they could still track you. Remote neural monitoring. Insurance fraud is likely not the case. It has nothing to do with it. Your blood type likely has nothing to do with it at all. We are witnessing very, very advanced technology, and criminals are using this technology on everyday citizens just like themselves. And that's all it really boils down to. There will be many more people complaining about this, and at some point or another, it will reach mainstream media, but by then, it will be too late. I'm out. And this may be my last video for a very long time, because most of you just don't know what's going on and don't want to have it. Peace.